Hi and welcome to your Reformer series. I'm excited to share this class with you. We're going to look at strong legs. So we're going to start side lying on your Reformer. I've sprung mine a red and a yellow. You don't want to go too much spring with this series. So you want to bring your arm underneath and support your head. And then just have a look on the carriage, come and get yourself so you feel that everything's kind of aligned. I kind of had to have a bit of a feel. And I'm gonna rest my feet, balls of my feet, one down on the lower bar and one on the upper bar. And just come to this sideline place. I kind of let my knee drop for now. And I'm gonna take the hand into the air and inhale. Into the side of the rib cage and exhale. Inhale, can you see I'm turning my hand? And I want to expand laterally as my arm goes over my head. So I want to inhale and let my rib cage move. You can see all that connections as the arm goes up. One more, spiraling around, so your little finger comes around, arm in the socket, so I'm not lifting up my shoulder, and then come back, place the hand on the front of the shoulder pad and place it this side a little bit, and then just open the hip and drop it down. Delay you moving back a little bit and just do a little bit of a rock here. And let your sitting bones move with your leg a little bit, and then find that place where you're hip distance apart. So I'm going to move this leg back now to the middle of the bar and lift my leg up so it's in alignment with my hip socket. So I'm going to reach the heel long and back to lengthen my leg, spiraling it inwards a little bit, and then bend the knee, widen the sit bone to come back in. The other leg stays bent and underneath. And crease in, feel the length of the foot, let the head relax. I'm just going to enjoy this for a little bit. Lengthening the heel back for the bar and waiting for that moment where you can delay, you really need to delay the carriage on this one. Creasing the heel, and then here I'm really widening my sitting bone so my thigh bone feeds deep and back. Next time you're out, stay out and just lift up onto the ball of the foot. Reach the heel bone long and back like your foot's just grown a couple of inches and bend in. And each time you bend in, feel like your right side of your pelvis blows up like a balloon. You're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale, head relax and exhale. Nice job. So now I'm going to turn out a little bit and do the same. I'm going to lengthen both legs out now, one slightly in front, just a little bit, and the others reach in. And then as I come up, I want to turn my thigh bone in its hip socket and let my pelvis yawn open. And then from the foot, get long through both inner seams, inhale and yawn open. And every time I come, I'm trying to get a little bit more there. Reach in, and when you think you can't reach anymore, reach a bit more. You can use the hands so you don't slip, and inhale. This is so good for pelvic health. So again, when we were kind of on some of the videos, you hear me talk about scar tissue and how it's really important if you've had a fall, if you have tight held pelvic floors, if you've done gymnastics or a lot of training, and the pelvic floor can become unfunctional as well. So all these really release and mobility exercises are really great. Adding the heel raise, come down, come up and wind all this out. Good. It feels like when I'm in turnout, As I bend my knee and my thigh bone moves here first, I'm turning out. My sitting bone widens and goes around to the inside of my leg. Yeah, and then I reach and I get as long as I can through both inner seams, down and up, and turn out. One more there, reach, down and up, and turn out. Very good. Now take the leg back now, stay with the second toe in alignment, the knee in alignment. You can bend this leg back up. So hand on the front of the rib cage, you're going to reach the heel for the bar and open a little bit more into more hip extension, keeping the pelvis square and the rib cage in, and then bend and come in. I'm going to do some here. Nice job. So as that leg goes back, you're going to reach this arm forward and then come in. Kind of like what we did before. Reach out, get long through that side, bend and come in. So you can see why lateral side bending and length through your sides is really important for ease in gait. Yeah, so as my heel reaches back, doing some nice hip extension, and I'm finding the length up through here. Yeah, two more, reaching through and coming back. Really feel that your tailbone, as you bend the leg, can stay pointing long and down. You don't want the pelvis to roll, yeah? The pelvis is staying still. And come on up. And I want you to just stand up really quickly and just appreciate, yee, nice, the kind of upgrade you've had on that side. So I'm going to have my back to you for a moment, which is fine. You might have your back to me, which is fine. Both feet aligned, sitting bones and tailbone wide. I'm looking for that alignment through the back. It's like my back's up against a wall, so I might just check in that I'm kind of aligned there. And I'm just going to breathe, and I'm going to take this arm up. So we'll keep the carriage still to start with if you cut your back to me. Feet resting, hip distance on the bars. And I'm just taking my hand like I'm going to shake someone's hand. Oh, I didn't do it that way, did I? I did it this way. I do apologise. And then back down by your side. It's all right, we had a few extra. Turning, inhale, exhale, and come down. And you'll be noticing all kinds of wonderful things about how different your body is. Hopefully this is a nice view for you if you're facing the camera, because you kind of get to see what's happening at the back of the body as well. One more there, and then you have that hand on the, I've got my hand on the front, and I'm just going to rock the pelvis a little bit, and you can see, probably see from here, that it's this kind of feeling that the pelvic half is allowed to move. I'm not fixing my hips. That's not how body moves. I'm allowing the pelvic half. It's not that I'm rolling back, but my pelvic half here needs to move when the leg moves. Yeah, it's how our body is meant to work. And if you're fixing things, it's not a good idea to fix things when we're trying to find alignment through the body. So from here, front foot stays on, you're going to reach out and get long and bend and come in. And this, excuse my rear view, but it's quite good to see that I'm widening my sitting bones here. I'm going to do one where I don't, as opposed to letting my pelvis be pulled around with my leg, yeah? So feed the thigh bone back into the socket. Allow the sitting bone to move wide away from the tailbone, and use your foot, adding the heel raise, to move the carriage. So I reach the heel bone long and back, let the foot really feel the bar, because that lift of arch is amazing for spine and pelvic balance and health. I'm going to do one more there, and we're going to move into the external version where I'm winding and turning out. And don't forget,
you're feeling that the sitting bone is going around that way. The pelvis yawns open. Here I'm finding length through my inner seams. I'm going to reach that other leg out as well if you feel you can. My hand is going to hold the shoulder pad, and then I tease it open. Legs, inner seams reaching. So I'm going to exhale, add in the heel and inhale. As we inhale, the lungs expand, the diaphragm moves down, organs pop out the way, the pelvic floor yawns open. As we exhale, the rest reverse happens. So pulling and tightening your bottom or tightening your pelvic floor is not helpful in any way. Get interested in that statement. It's not the way you make change, it's tension. That's what you're doing when you tighten your bottom or pull up your pelvic floor. It's all the things we need for the body to work and bring balance, yeah? So from there, I'm going to create some more hip extension by finding the back of the board, bend the other leg in, widening the sitting bones and reaching the heel bone back and lengthening. Oh, there we go, stuck my rib cage out. So if you haven't got a great deal of hip extension, if you're tight in your hips and you can't find that, you're going to move in your lower back, or you're going to do some compensation. So rather than be extending into your lower back, you want to feel the roundness of your rib cage here. This thoracic is round, and you want to find it in your hips. So do a dab. I'm going to move my foot a little bit further forward so that you can find good form. It's not about how far back your foot can get, it's about can you keep alignment through the spine as we move our legs. And the pelvic half does this here, it wheels and turns with the leg, yeah? And then you're going to reach. As I reach up with the arm, I'm coming into my anatomical slings. So I'm pinching the length up here so that when you get up, you'll feel amazing, you'll walk, you'll run easier, all of that. One more there. And relax in, well done. So come on over onto your back now and come and rest into here, tailbone down. So I'm going to let one thigh bone drop and roll into my socket. Hello again, at the back can move for a while, and the other one. And again, feel that sense of a wide pelvis and a heavy pelvis here. And just see if I can breathe into my rib cage at the back. So I'm not belly breathing here. I don't know if you can see, but as I breathe in, because I'm finding the back of my rib cage, I almost feel like I'm hovering, yeah? And I just create some stability, some space, all of that. And then I want my thighs to be able to sit easy here, and this all to stay nice and easy and not tight. It shouldn't be hard just to be here, yeah, to pick your legs up. It should be really easy. No, not a lot. We don't need to tighten, we don't need to tuck. We need to find the weight of our pelvis, weight of the head, and the breath into the back of the body. So reach the hands up, breathe in as the little fingers reach up, and you're kind of going to pull like the slack around, keep the head heavy so that you can find the breath into there, and then exhale and come down. If your feet are hurting, take your if your thighs are gripping, take your toes onto the bar and just balance them, yeah? Inhale, exhale. One more there, inhale, exhale. So notice how that breath has a sense of sending you that way, and we're going to do it again. So you're going to reach from the little finger side, look to the pelvis,
and roll up onto the tip of your shoulder blades. I'm going to reach my hands like mad, but let my tailbone sink. So my tailbone sinks, my legs float up for nothing, and I'm reaching. Now I'm going to stretch one leg out and start to pat into our 100. You can stand into that foot on the bar if you want to. If you find tension, you can support the head if you feel that the neck is aching. If the neck's aching, you've not quite come in equal flexion in your cervical. You'll have extended somewhere, so you can really pull the head up and around like you're pulling up a hood, and let your chest sink down, yeah? So you can be here, or you can be here, and then we're going to swap and pat from the back of the arms. You can do 2 arms. You can do 2 legs. And relax, and I'm breathing into the back of the body for the 100. It's a great breathing exercise. Come on up and take a moment there. That's just a really quick 15 minutes, great movement on your reformer. If you've just got 15 minutes to spare and you just want to jump on, give yourself a little bit of a treat in the morning, enjoy that class and come and join us in the reformer series real soon.